Ask a young child to draw his house. More often than not, he will put pen to page, drawing a square structure with windows and a doorway. He will say this is my house. Ask a young child to draw her family. She will scribble stick figure silhouettes, crayon creations of siblings, parents, and pets. She will say this is my family. Yet ask a young child to draw home, and you may find that the picture then shows both. For home is a mix of people and place. There are so many ways in which we define it. Often, the only way we can find to describe it is to say home is where the heart is. So let me tell you where my heart has been. First, picture two streets. One lonely set of stoplights marks where they meet. There are no fast food chains or big box stores on these corners, just Karen. Truth be told, I never knew if it was her orange vest or her smile that stopped the traffic. Crossing guard extraordinaire, Karen was just one of the many familiar faces I grew to know in my hometown, a place filled with small-town charm, as infectious as the chicken pox we all caught in kindergarten when people ask where I am from. I smile shyly and reply, you probably won't know it, and it's true. Because though there are many who may know my home's name, they will never know her like I do. My heart belonged to dusty forest bike trails and street hockey showdowns, to cornfields and home-cooked meals and my elementary school playground. We played made-up games because, well, there was honestly nothing else to do. But we played those games until our shadows disappeared and the streetlights called us home. I called those streets home until I started to learn their secrets and began to keep some of my own. I don't know exactly how it happened, but at some point, I fell in love for the first time. And though I'd like to say it was as perfect as a Hallmark Valentine, there are reasons beyond being 16 that this wasn't the case. For most, first love marks a coming of age. But for me, it was an inability to come out and tell anyone her name, so she and I made new homes inside our closets. Knowing small towns and words like gay fit together like puzzle pieces picked from different boxes, it was the first time I started to not feel at home in my own skin. My body became an expert at holding things in as I swallowed secrets like confessionals consume sins. The small town I grew up in morphed into a place I couldn't wait to escape from. I started to dream of a new place to call home. One where I could hide in the shadows of skyscrapers, bigger than the secrets I was stockpiling in my lungs, bigger than the lies that were jumping so easily from my tongue. I wanted to shake hands with strangers who didn't care where I came from or who it was that I loved. So I went where any small-town Canadian kid struggling with their identity would go. I packed my bags and I moved to the city of Toronto, home to people of all shapes and sizes, all colors and creeds, and you better believe I found home wandering those streets lined with shops, displaying approval, not for sale, but given away freely. It was right there in their storefront windows. Stickers of big old gay rainbows. And so I started a collection. I put a glass jar in my heart and I filled it with acceptance, examples of stickers, stories, and moments that all told me it was okay to be me. And eventually I cashed in that courage. I counted out exactly enough bits of bravery to say, Mom, I'm gay. Oh, and happy Mother's Day. That's true. Again, not exactly how Hallmark drew it up. But my family's words of love were like cups of hot water pouring over the fear that had kept my mouth frozen closed. And though I'd like to say this is where the story ends, I had another lesson to learn about hearts and homes. It came when I heard the word divorce over the telephone. I was 24 years old, and in that moment, I learned some things when broken hurt worse than bones. I wondered, when my family fell apart, why didn't I hear a sound? I wasn't given time to prepare, to take my heart underground before the disaster hit. I was sitting in a 19th floor apartment, needing to know what had happened, but not wanting to return to survey the damage. It's funny, when I did, I almost hoped to see that the walls had caved in, or that the roof was gone. Something that could be repaired with some muscle and a toolkit, and I'm not saying these would have done the trick. But I knew the shards of hearts left shattered on hardwood floors would be so much more difficult to fix. Eventually, we did. We licked our wounds and somehow made it through, and I'm not saying there aren't scars, but what are scars but just beauty marks saying, I brought my heart to a knife fight and life may cut deep sometimes, but damn it, I'm still here. And I'm here today. because I found home in a place I never imagined, one where people get on stage and share poems. And I don't mean like roses are red, I mean like people have bled their hearts out onto paper, put tears, secrets, and hopes in the mix, and then shared it with a room full of strangers. Am I crazy? Absolutely. But when my stories are exposed, belted out under bright lights and amplified through microphones, I hope someone out there will think I'm not alone. So next time you find yourself a bit misplaced, seek out a space where words and hearts are being shared, pull up a chair and take a peek at the back corner of the room. You may find me there, pen in hand, scribbling out my next poem. Be sure to come say hello. I'll smile at you like a child and say, this is my home.